All right. So for those of you who could not join us yesterday, that's why I would like to do. Okay, okay. Sorry. Can you see it? Okay. Okay, the slide. Yes, I shared it. Yes. Or if you still want it, I can still give it to you. All right. Um, we said that a user experience has to do with how a user feels when using a product. It has to do with emotion and attitude. Emotion goes with feeling, attitude, how you think, how you behave when you are using a particular product. So we talked about user. We said that not everyone is actually a user because you can't start selling goods to someone who is a musician or maybe people in music departments. Some of them might actually like football though, but not all of them. Okay, okay. So a user is the person who will use a finished product or service once it has been purchased. A user is that person who is going to buy your product after you must have developed it. Not everyone is your user. Like I gave you an example. You can start you have a product like telescope. Telescope is a very powerful tool actually. Man, but if you're a footballer, you have no need for that. So that's why it's very important to do your research. You know your target audience. You know who your users are. Not everyone is your user. So user experience refers to a person's emotions and attitude about using a particular product, system, or service. So emotion, we talked about feeling. Attitude, we talked about behavior and way of thinking. So we said that user experience is how a user interacts with and experiences a product, system, or service. It includes person's perceptions of utility, your perception of utility, ease of use, and efficiency. What you understand, utility, ease of use, and efficiency. We said that user experience design is a design that is user-centered. The goal is to design an artifact that allows the users to meet their needs in the most effective, efficient, and satisfying manner. Now, why the user needs your product is because he or she would like to use your product to solve his or her needs. So your product should be able to help the user or assist the user to be able to solve his or her needs. A product that is not able to help a user to solve his or her needs has failed. Now, I told you something about maybe if you want to download something from the internet, you click download button. You don't know if you're actually downloading or not. Then you notice that you've actually clicked that button multiple times. And then you check your download file. You see you've actually downloaded that maybe 5 times, 10 times, which means that product is not helping you to solve that your problem. A product should be seamless. Just like Don Norman said, that it's a cohesive, integrated set of experiences that they should be made to work seamlessly. You understand? Now, I have experience. I know how to structure buttons. I know how to make a button to look like a button. I know how to make a picture to stand out. I know how to structure text. I know how to the color to pick. Now, all these things, when they come together, that's what we are talking about. An integrated set of experiences. All the experience that you have, you bring them together and they should all work together. So in user experience design, you are considering the experience of the user. You consider the skill level. You don't just design anyhow. If you are designing for children, you should make it very easy and usable for children. If you are designing for adults, you should make it look like, imagine you want to, maybe you're a producer, I want to produce movie for adults, and you are actually doing some childish things for adults. They won't find that movie interesting. Or you want to produce for children, you'll start giving them adult content and all that. You as a user experience designer, you should know what to give to your user. You should know your target audience. Who are you actually designing for? You should understand that. It's very important. UX designer is concerned with how a user feels when interacting with a product. Are you bored? Is it uninteresting? Is it very interesting? Are you happy? Are you sad when using that product? And we talked about user-centered design. We said that user-centered design is a design which puts the user at the center of the universe and defines the entire system from that perspective. The user is at the center. You consider the user first, then every other thing will be added. Right? The Bible said, first seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing shall be added. Now, first seek the user and his experience, and every other thing will follow. That's what user-centered design entails. Now, it's a collection of processes that focus on putting users at the center of product design and development. It aims to consider usability and accessibility. Usability. How the person's interaction with a product, is this usable? I told you that usability does not necessarily mean ease of use. Ease of use could be if I open my Microsoft Word, I'll be talking, it's typing for me. Ease of use is very easy. Usability is I open Microsoft Word, I'm able to type what I want. Not when I open Microsoft Word, it will be asking me nonsense questions. Do you want to type a letter? Do you want to type journal? Do you want to type this or that? Or magazine? If you choose this one, do you want it to appear like this? Do you want it to appear like that? You choose this one. Do you want this one or that one? What thing do you want to use? Asking you unnecessary questions. Then it becomes unusable. Then it will lose its usability. I told you that a product that is usable will try as much as possible to help a user recover from error. Not when a user commits an error, then it fails. It's to be able to even correct the error on its own, or even guide the user through the process of correcting that particular error. That's what a usable product is. It helps the user to solve his or her needs. Now, we we looked at usability, and we said that usability is a measure of how well a specific user in a specific context can use a product to achieve a defined goal effectively, efficiently, and satisfactorily. How well is a measure of how well. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It is a measure of how well. Not that, oh, you can use this. Now imagine if I have pen that is as big as this microphone. I can actually write with it, do you know? But it's not very usable. It's too big. I can't handle it very well. Now, imagine you are comparing different sizes, pen sizes. You get this one is big. You have various sizes. Now you can say that this one is usable, but this one is more usable than this. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's a measure of how well can you use this. So, like some people will say that football, that Messi finds football very usable, because how well can he use it? How well can he use it to do what he wants to do? It's a measure of how well you can use a specific user in a specific context can use a product to do what he wants to do. That's usability. Said that accessibility is also a measurement of a user's ability to use a product, the extent to and ease with which they can meet their goals. Now, accessibility tries to factor a lot of people in. Now, it has to consider people that are physically challenged. Are they finding these your products difficult? Can everybody use this product? There are things that you consider, because when doing your research is very important in UX. You should understand your users. I told you that recent research actually showed that many people, let me say over 80% of mobile phone users use their phone with one hand. Over 80% use their phone with one hand. So now people are not designing for one-handed users, because there are more people that use their phone with one hand. That's what research shows. That's why it's very important to conduct your research. People are paying billions of dollars for research, just research. You think that research is very common? It's not common. For you to understand somebody, because if I understand you very well, then I can be able to produce a product that you will like, because I know what you really need. So it's about making sure your product can be used by as many people as possible. That's accessibility. We talked about careers in UX, various careers in UX. We talked about UX researcher. This is the person that conducts the research. So he specializes in the research aspect of a product design. The primary role is to understand user behavior, needs, motivation, and pain points. What users find difficult, what they need, how they behave, or how they think. what they like, what they dislike. That's UX researcher. Talked about UX analyst. This is the person that evaluates what works and what does not really work. This is actually good. This is not so good. This needs amendments. So these are the people, they provide fixes. If something is not working very fine, he knows it's not working as it should be working. That's UX analysts. They analyze the system. You have UX writer. I told you that all the text that you see and all that, the message, error message pops up. YouTube will tell you that you're not connected to the internet. This one, those texts that you see, transfer successful, all this one, loading, blah, blah, blah. Those texts that you see that, guides you, that ensures that user flow is seamless. You know what user flow is? How you navigate from your starting point until you achieve what you want to achieve. If I want to make payments, now my user flow would be from entry, opening the app, to the processes until they tell me it's transfer successful. That's the user flow. What will guide me is what this guy does, UX writer, because it's text that will be guiding me through the processes. And that's the job of this guy. We have information architects.
So can I ask a question, please?
All right.
Okay, the UX analysts, when do they work? Is it during the development of the product or is it after?
It's during the development, because during the development, fixes are being made. He will analyze how, even after he does during the development and even after. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Okay, yes.
Because even after, because they can actually visit a website or a product and say, oh, this is not functioning the way it should be functioning. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You can have a website that is functional, that is live. A UX analyst, you can employ a UX analyst. Do you get it? Just to review your website or your product. He will be able to tell you this is not working the way it should be working. This, provide fixes for you.
Does that mean that his scope, it expands further from the design? It's not just the design, because when you're talking about how the website is functional, it means maybe if you are coding experience or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you hear? Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Hello. What's your name? Henrietta, right?
No, I was Stephanie.
Okay, sorry. So listen, just like UX designer,
Yes.
UX designer is also involved in information architecture. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
You've not talked about the information architecture.
That's what I want to talk about now. Do you get? I'm just trying to give you instance. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
Now the UX analyst,
Yes.
they work from the design stage. Do you get it? Just like if you are designing and you want to test your product, you provide prototypes. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now prototypes is just like the way that product should be working if it's being developed.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's during the that's design stage. They can look at this thing and say, no, this thing shouldn't be like this.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
They should be able to say this thing should be improved upon.
Okay, yes.
So even before the system or the product is developed.
Okay, okay.
You get what I'm saying now?
Yes, yes.
Because they are part of the design team.
Okay, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
Like just like you see, information architects, US analysts, US researcher, they are just like a team. They are all working together just to produce a product. But if the product is produced, just like, we are still going to look at, testing a product. I told you yesterday about that it's not always right to use waterfall model. Did I say that?
Yes, you said spiral model is better.
Thank you. Now, during the design stage, you can be iterating. It's not necessarily, it's not even wise or advisable for you to produce a product, develop a product that has not gone through several iterations. You get what I'm saying? So the product should be reviewed over and over again. Now, the US analyst is there.
Yes.
If you analyze a product, that doesn't mean that you are going to see everything.
Once, yes.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now you can still come again and say, oh, this should have been this way or that way.
Yeah.
Because you can, after studying your users, you might still notice that this product does not necessarily solve this particular problem I thought it would have solved.
Okay.
That means you still need to go back again, revisit design stage
and improve
over again.
Okay, thank you.
So now we are talking about information architect. I told you that this person is concerned with the organization of your, pages on your website, or should I say your app. Just the flow, the navigation, how you go from one place to another. Now, this person can employ something called maybe cache sorting session. Cache sorting session is, I get a list of all the pages. A group of web pages make what website, isn't it? Just like I have page 1, 2, 3, just like I have pages, different pages of a book. All pages combined together make one book, isn't it? That's how a website is. So you have all pages, web pages. When you combine them together, they become websites. Now, this person can just get those names of the pages that make up a website, how they are arranged. Then he gives them to each person, each user. For instance, in cache sorting session, tell this person, please sort this the way you think it should be. Do you get it? All of you will sort. Then we'll be able to say, yes, this one should come before this one should come before this. From there, he'll be able to get his hierarchy, arrange things, because just like I told you, you as a designer, you are not designing for yourself. You are designing for others. You should try as much as possible to know what your users need. That's why cache sorting session is very important. Okay. That's information architects. You have US strategists. These people, they have strategies that they can use to actually make things work for the business too. So they seek to balance things between user-centered design and also consider stakeholders. That's for UX strategists. Okay. Okay, thank you. What's your name? Shola. Okay. Now, UX analyst does his job. His job is to know what is wrong with a product and what is going very fine with a product. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Now, but this strategist is concerned with what works best for the user and how we can make this user to generate for the business.
Sorry, the strategist, does it have to do with like finance? Like how the product
Yes,
can
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I've been having because I'm not connected. Okay. No, I don't really think. Try and see if you can connect to 5G network. Try and see if you can connect. Please. Let's see if they can connect. Okay. I heard someone was asking question. Okay, so I think someone said if strategist has something to do with finance. Yes, he has something to do with finance because he's trying to, come up with a strategy that is going to work for the business. US strategists will say, oh, what if we employ maybe pay stack here? Users can be able to pay. Maybe download movies they want to download and pay with their credit card. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So they employ strategies that will ensure that the business is feeling very, very okay. We talked about the UX designer. This person is a jack of all trades. The user experience field. Do you get it? This person is a researcher, information architect, blah, 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 blah. All packed in one person. That's UX designer. He knows how to do research. He knows it. He knows how to get his information. I told you that no information is nonsense when it comes to user experience research. You get as many information as possible. Get them. You will need them a lot. I told you that in UX research, you shouldn't be asking close-ended question. You should make your question open. Just like you shouldn't ask someone, I hope you arrived well. Someone will say yes or no. But if you ask the person, how did you go? The person will be able to tell you stories. That's the story that you need. You want to get information. You shouldn't be asking questions that will make the person say yes or no when you come to research. Because you need enough. People pay money in research. People pay money. Just go and Google how much big businesses they pay for research. They've paid billions of dollars for research alone. You think our research is very common? It's not common. People need information. You see Apple, all these Google, before they come up with products, they must do their research. They pay people, they pay researchers big amounts of money for research. You think it's easy to engage people and get information from them? It's not easy. So there are things that this guy, US researcher, has the knowledge. US designer has the knowledge of research, user research, knows how to organize things, knows how to analyze, knows how to plan. He has the knowledge, yes. Okay, thank you. That's a very, what's your name? TVK. Give him 5. That's a very intelligent question. If you can get a UX designer, why would you then get a maybe UX researcher or analyst? Now, that's very good. UX designer can do that. But there is something called 40. Have you heard the word? Or should I say area of specialization? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. He has the knowledge, but there is a but there. You can't. Okay, now let me give you an example now. We said who knows Buffon? Who watch football? You know Buffon. You know that they say that Buffon is a very good player. He can play very well. Do you get it? Goalkeeper now. He can play ball. They say he can play ball. He can play very well. You see that there was another goalkeeper like that. One backer, Barcelona goalkeeper then. No, not Ter Stegen. The other one before Ter Stegen. What was his name? Valdez. Yes, thank you very much. They say Valdez can play ball very well. Like he can play. Now, but you can't say, oh, because this person can play. That means maybe I shouldn't put Daniel Alves. Let him play that wing. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Or you say let him play midfield. Let me remove Xavi or one midfielder. He can play. He can play very well. But that's not his field. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. He can't do it as this person who this is what he does. I don't know if that's very clear now. Yeah. So that's it. This person is jack of all trades. He has all the knowledge. But there is somebody. There is a way they say it. He gets stranger, he get landlord. You get a person who get that land. So then we talked about design and art. So we discussed design and art. We saw the difference. We said that design is an art form, a method of human expression that follows a system of highly developed procedures in order to imbue objects, performances, and experiences with significance. This is what differentiates design from art. Now, design and art, they stimulate creativity and imagination, though. They provide visual, tactile, and sensory experiences and a special way of understanding and responding to the world. Now, we consider design. We asked, what is design? And this man answered. Steve Jobs. That's the man here. No, not there. Here. Yes, Steve Jobs. Now, was the CEO of Apple. Now, this man said that most people, they make the mistake and they will start thinking that, hey, design is what it looks like. That people think is this veneer, that designer I handed this box and told, make it look good. I want this to look good. You think that design is just make it look good. Then that becomes design. Or that's not what design is. Design is not what it looks like. It is what it is how it works. I told you that design is not what it looks like. It is it is how it works. Just like I said yesterday, that art, okay, let's consider art. We said that art is a means of self-expression. Means of self-expression. How you would like to express yourself. That's art. Now, it is the expression or the application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form, such as painting or sculpture, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty and emotional power. I told you that art is simply what you feel. What you feel that art is, it's what it becomes. Because something, you can see something and you interpret it differently. I interpret it differently. Someone else interprets it differently. That's art. It's meant to be interpreted differently, in different ways. So art is what you think it is, but design is what it is. If I come up with a design, if I come up with, okay, let me say, if I come up with art work, anything that you think it meant, that's what it means. But if I come up with a design, if you don't understand what I meant, then that design has failed. You should know what I meant. You shouldn't say, oh, what does this person mean? What is he trying to say? When you start asking that question, that means that design is not seamless. It's not usable. Then we considered art and design. We said that design is focused on achieving solutions with measurable results, whereas art is more concerned with expressing ideas that may have more than one meaning. Now, great art may make you think, but design is one that provokes deep thought to reveal the purpose of its functionality. That design, functionality. Now, design has to solve problem. Why art should provoke thought and emotion? I told you that design is meant for solving other people's problem. Why art is used for solving personal problem? Art solves personal problem. Why design solves other people's problem? Now, designers work with a data-driven or mathematical process. You see, data-driven or mathematical process, that's design. Why artists work intuitively using their instincts. Somebody can come to his canvas, start painting, getting inspiration, painting. That's art. You don't do that in design. Not just what you think. If you do that, you are going to use your product. Art is perceptual. Why design is rational. Art is appreciated for its beauty, but design is praised for its functionality over beauty. Design can be beautiful, but functionality is the key in design. How it works. That's what Steve Jobs told us. It's not all about how it feels and looks like. It's how it works. That's the design. So we still considered where art fits in digital world. Just like I have in gaming and producing. Well, that's not our topic for today, actually. So that's just a recap. So what we are considering today, do you have any question based on user experience? Any question before we go into product development life cycle? No question, right? Okay. All right, let's go. We will be talking about product development life cycle. Now, when you hear product development life cycle, what comes to your mind? Who can tell me?
Stages.
What's that your name?
Yes, sir.
That is maths. 10. But you know, you answered, you just gave us breadcrumb. Just small. Stages of what? Okay, but you did well. Now, who else can try?
Stages of development.
Thank you. I know we've given you 10. Give you now another one. Who else? Okay. Without further ado, let's proceed. Okay. We are going to look at product development life cycle. When we talk about product development life cycle, what do we mean? What are we talking about? These are the steps taken by products during its lifetime. From when the idea comes to our mind, through research and all blah, 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 till the product is developed. Those stages, these are what we are considering when we talk about product development life cycle. We consider, you know, sometimes we will consider something like roadmap. It's just like saying roadmap of a product. You know, I told you about product roadmap, right? Yesterday. I told you that when you are talking about product roadmap, you are talking about the vision of that product, what it aims to achieve. Yeah? And you also talk about its direction, how it's going about achieving those things. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's not all about what it wants to achieve. It's also about how it's going about achieving those things. And again, we talk about progress, whether it's actually achieving those things or not. So it has to do with, the product roadmap has to do with the vision, the direction, and the progress of a product over time. So at the end of this module, you should have understanding of various steps taken by a product during its life cycle. Then the visions and roadmap of businesses as described to either grow or survive. Okay, you know, I said something about either growing or surviving. Now, how many of you use WhatsApp maybe around 2012? Well, actually, I don't think I use WhatsApp. So I doubt. Nobody. Well, the picture I'm trying to paint here is this. WhatsApp came around. WhatsApp came in 2009. Then this Telegram came around 2013. Yeah. Now, if you go back to check how WhatsApp looked like then and what it later looked like, you notice that there are differences. Eh? They've actually, you know, incorporated a lot of things. Thank you very much. What's that your name?
Henrietta.
Henrietta, 10.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I told you that businesses, they employ innovative designs in order to either grow or survive. WhatsApp, they would have remained the way they were. They then saw Telegram. Do you know what Telegram did? They reviewed WhatsApp very well. They looked at WhatsApp, looked at everything in WhatsApp. they engage WhatsApp users. What are you finding difficult using WhatsApp? They did their research very well. You know, having WhatsApp and then adding extra WhatsApp on top. That's Telegram. Because then WhatsApp saw that, oh, these people that are taking our customers, they have to do something. Because they wouldn't have survived if they did not improve. Listen, there are lots of competitions out there. People are actually, some people want to invest their money. Can you produce something like WhatsApp? That's why most of all these things that you see, all these functionalities, most of them are patented. I know some of you that did law, no. Do you get it? You can't reveal some of the functionalities to anyone that is outside this thing. You can look at WhatsApp, you wouldn't know how they did and that. Or if you are smart enough, you can do something that looks like that. Do you get it? Just like you see Morning Fresh. You are trying to produce something like Morning Fresh. You can't produce something like Morning Fresh. There is something that they used. You don't know, and they can't tell you the secret. Or you can produce something that looks like it, but you cannot produce exactly those with Indomie and all those things. But there are people that are smart enough to be able to see, oh, this person used this thing, they use that thing, they use this thing, and they use that thing. They want to produce something that looks like that, even better, much more better. Because you can't just produce something that looks like something and you expect to take over. You must produce something better. It's just like if, let's assume that you are a very good footballer, maybe PSG, they sign you up, you are playing the same wing, maybe as Messi. You are playing like Messi. You cannot bench Messi because you are playing like him. It's not possible. If you want to bench Messi, you are going to play more than Messi. True or false? Yes. You should be better. So people are actually going to look at your product in order to produce a better product. Because just like I told you, if you are producing a product, you consider users' experience. People have been using WhatsApp for long. So if you are going to produce Telegram, it has to work like WhatsApp and better than WhatsApp. You can't just produce something entirely different. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It has to do a work like WhatsApp and then even much more better. And then when they saw that Telegram has done upgraded, they've actually entered market. They say that Telegram is going to chase them to their village. They had to do something before they go back village. If you don't do something, you are going to go back to your village. So we said that every new product, whether an app or material object, would follow a specific set of steps that take it from the first part of an idea to the release of the final product. When that idea comes in, to the release of that product is what is known as product development life cycle. All the steps it takes from when the idea comes in to when the product is being released is what product development life cycle entails. Now, is product development life cycle a linear process? Is it just idea comes in, we do this, we develop, it ends? Is it a linear process? No. No. What happens to WhatsApp? They upgrade, true or false? Are they going to say, oh, since we released first version in 2009, then we are good to go. Everything has ended. There are things that you consider. You consider your competitors. There is this app that did this the other time, but they did not factor in user experience. They were only after money to go. Before you can say hi to your friend, you pay money. And they later made it that you must use your credit card. You must. They made it a must too. You must use your credit card. Before it was recharging airtime. You use airtime, then you buy credits or whatever. They later made it. You must use your credit card and pay, make payments directly to them before you be able to say hi or hello. And another product came. They made it better. And they lost their customers. People want things that they can use to solve their problems. If you make things difficult for people, then your product will no longer be usable. Now, the stages of a typical product development life cycle, brainstorm, reason, think, analyze, define. You define. Then you design. Then you test. Then you launch. But it's not a linear process. You can launch and go back, brainstorm. Do you get it? Can you see it? Can you see it? It's not a linear process. You can always, it's just like a cyclic process. You brainstorm, define, design, test, launch. You brainstorm, define, design, test. You launch, you brainstorm. It's not a linear process, not a straightforward. If it's a linear process, that means many businesses would have died. Although there is another, some people, but any other step that you are going to consider, they must factor in one of these stages. You can have maturity, you kill that product. You can test and analyze, then all those things are still part of these steps. Now, this is by no means a linear process. Many products go through several iterations of both individual phases as well as the entire life cycle. Now, why US designers are typically most heavily involved in the design phase, understanding the larger context is important for a successful contribution to the US design process. Now let's look at brainstorm. Brainstorm. What do we mean when we say brainstorm? Who can tell me?
Think.
What's that your name? 10. Who else? Thank you. 10. Okay. Your answer well. Now, brainstorming phase doesn't always start with existing idea, though, but it always starts with an existing problem. Now, when you are brainstorming, you are bringing up ideas. You are thinking. You are putting hairs together. Now, each product development life cycle starts with some kind of pain points that needs to be addressed either by creating a new product or building on an existing product. You consider the pain points. What are the pain points in WhatsApp? That's why they use at advantage in Telegram. What are the things that people would have wanted to do that they could not do in WhatsApp? Then put all the functionalities of WhatsApp, then add those things. It becomes Telegram. They want to make it. You understand the pain points, the difficulties people face. Now, if I want to, okay, let me ask you now, if you want to build a product, let's say a mobile app that will help people to buy things from the market, what are the things we are going to consider? Now let's brainstorm. How do we go about our research? Yeah, yeah, you guys have idea one after another. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Give him 5. Yes, the type of product to be sold online. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. 5.
To speed at which those products upload.
Thank you. 10. You know, man, listen, there is something that some people don't always consider. There is something, it's very important to you, but most people don't always consider that. Speed. People will consider your product that is not efficient enough if it does not, solve their problem at the shortest time. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, imagine you have a website. You want to open, maybe I want to go and buy some books. Then I visit Amazon, for instance. And I want to open the page. It tells me loading, wait, loading, and I'm waiting. What's this? I'll just close my tab. I'll get frustrated. That becomes bounce rate. You know what bounce rate is? How many people visit your website and leave without doing anything? If your product becomes unusable and your listing is not fast, it's very slow, sluggish, you have high bounce rates. So if you are considering building a product, you should consider how fast, because any product that if your website doesn't open between 2 to 3 seconds, it's not that very much efficient, fast, not very much fast. You are going to have high bounce rates. Not everybody has that time. You want to open a website, you are waiting for the website to open. No. Thank you. Who else? Thank you. Accessibility and availability. Now, there are things that you need to consider. Now, let's assume that now we want to produce that product. we are going to, people that will be, we are considering some people who are actually marketers, should I say sellers, and we are considering our customers. Maybe Mama Emeka is actually selling maybe cassava, or should I say gari, she'll be using that platform to sell her gari. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And you have Mama Nkechi will be also selling abacha. Now, we want to consider how can we be able to connect maybe Ujunwa, who would like to know if there is actually abacha in that market, because I wouldn't want to, after going to the market, they tell me there is no abacha. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I need to know if there is actually abacha in that market before I start going there. And if possible, can I get the abacha at home without even going to the market? Is it possible that I can be in my house? That will come.
Yes, it's possible.
Thank you. That's why we are brainstorming. You see why it's important to brainstorm. If you want to brainstorm, the best way to brainstorm is to have people of diverse cultures, different ideas. But you shouldn't have too many people. That's the simple truth. Now, brainstorming phase doesn't, okay, we've talked about that. Pain point that needs to be addressed either by creating new products or building on an existing product. It's important to pay attention. You pay attention in brainstorming to the diversity of your team at this stage. Teams that have meaningful diversity across identifiers like race, gender, abilities, family structure, age, and ethnicity are generally more effective at brainstorming. They brainstorm very well if you have people of diverse culture, different gender. If I'm thinking like a guy. If a lady is thinking, she's thinking like a lady. We are not thinking alike. So if I'm using, imagine, let me, what should I use? Okay, let me say, if I want to build a product, or should I say my view would be that of a guy. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Because I don't really understand ladies very much. But if I have ladies, that's ladies' perspective. And me, as a guy, I'm considering things based on, should I say, guyish perspective. You understand? So now, like I told you, good day. So like I told you, having people of diverse culture, different backgrounds, is very, very okay during brainstorming. You're going to tell me things I never knew. Brainstorming, putting heads together. I'm telling you, no idea is nonsense. That's why it's very important to rank. Okay, that one you think that is nonsense, rank it below. You can still use it. Okay, look at, we are here. Somebody says to someone, these are ideas. How can we build this product? We are putting heads together, coming up with solutions. Now, if I get my pen and paper now, and we are talking about all these things, if we spend 20 to 30 minutes here, we'll come up with a lot of ideas. And when we start, implementing those ideas, you see things will be coming out. I don't know everything. That's why I can't say maybe if I'm a designer, and you guys, all of you guys, you put heads together, you are going to design better than myself. That's the simple truth. Two heads, they better pass one. Now, waiting people they talk. Eh? Good. Yeah, thank you.
Good
yes,
heads.
good. Yes, thank you very much. Eh? Good heads. Good heads, actually. Hey, not our hair, shot. Hey. So now, but the truth is this: you don't need a lot of people, too much people. You don't need too much people if you want things to go seamlessly. Eh? Like the man that owns Amazon, what's his name? Jeff Bezos. Thank you very much. Jeff Bezos said that if you can't feed, if you can't feed your team with 2 pizza, you know pizza, with 2, if you can't feed your team with 2, that means we are too much. Does that make sense? Yeah. Some say it doesn't make sense. Okay. But what he's trying to say is this. If I get 2 pizza now, and I start, trying to make it go round. If it can't go round, that means we are too much. Eh? 3 pizza. We add more. Thank you. So you need people, but you don't need too much people. At least if you are brainstorming, you can be like 4 or 5. You brainstorm. You are good. So brainstorming is an active discovery stage that is all about generating ideas. It's all about generating ideas. Ideas coming. About user and potential needs. Generating ideas about user and potential needs. You get it? You generate ideas about user. Okay, this user acts this way, he does this way, he behaves like this, he thinks like this, he feels like this. And potential needs. What could he want? What are the things he wants to accomplish? Or challenges. What are the problems he's facing or she is facing? The user might have, that's needs or challenges the user might have. Now, during the brainstorming stage, the team generates ideas to solve a problem. Understand the audience they are designing for. You are not designing for yourself. You are designing for your audience. And identifies needs or challenges the audience may have. What are the problems this audience, what are the problems they are facing? The brainstorm stage is also an ideal time to check out your product's competitors. Very, very important. If I tell you, people are on the lookout, this is just like a warfare. You are always on the lookout. Who are your competitors? Who are who are actually competing with you? What are they doing? People monitor this every time. Big businesses. You think it's not common. They want to know how their users are feeling. Because everyone wants to make money. You want your business to be even the only business doing that particular, solving that a particular problem. You just want your business to be the only business solving a particular problem. Now, do you see there was a pure water company called Ranco? I don't know if you know that. There was a called Ranco. Then Aquarafa came, and they went off track. That's competitor. They were not on the look. They did not consider, oh, somebody could actually come up with something better. No business. If you have a business, you should always be on the lookout. If you still want to grow or survive, you can't say, oh, I have business. If you like, you invest heaven and earth in your business, that business can still fold. If you don't do your mathematics very well. That's why if you have a product, you should always know who your competitors are. Always. Oh, Telegram is trying to incorporate this feature. Let's incorporate it. Because that particular feature might be what will make people to go to Telegram and even make it better. And identify, okay, now the brainstorm stage is also an ideal time to check out your product competitors and identify if there are already similar products available in the market. Now, like I told you, things have been made easy. You are a designer. You don't necessarily need to start designing things from scratch. If something, there is already an existing system. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Before you start from scratch, that means there is no already existing system. You should know how to design from scratch and how to come up with innovative design. You can improve on an already existing system. If a client comes to me and tells me he needs a maybe social app people can use to connect, do this, do that, do that. I see the features. Oh, something like WhatsApp. You say yes, something like WhatsApp. I'm going to look at WhatsApp. I will design my blog to look like WhatsApp. Then try and incorporate some other things in there because WhatsApp is already in existence. If I design something that is off, it's going to violate people's users' experience because they have already had a mental model how they should actually operate. If you are using WhatsApp and you know how to use WhatsApp, you can use Telegram. True or false? Yes. What they did is this. They worked upon something like WhatsApp. And they were able to come up with, they did some, notice that it looks like WhatsApp also, but it's not WhatsApp. That's innovative design. They twerk some things. There is something that one of our lecturers said, actually. He said, when we are being taught the, generation of computer and all that, the history from abacus down to modern microprocessors systems. Now, they told us, now I said someone asked a question, why is it that some of us or our ancestors rather, we had like games and all that, things that looked like abacus and all that. Why is it that over the years we are not able to come up with something like laptop and all that? And the lecturer told us that the way we think is what makes it difficult for us to be able to come up with something like that. Everyone wants to stand out. Everyone wants his voice to be heard, to be praised as the only person. Somebody will come up with a product. Instead of you to work upon that product, you abandon it and you start working from scratch. Now, imagine the person works from level 0 to level 10. Instead of you to upgrade it to level 20, you are still working from level 0 to 10. Every other person works from level 0 to 10. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, somebody who wants to come up with something like Telegram, he will look at WhatsApp. Already, there is an already existing system. Then add something to WhatsApp and it becomes Telegram. And you want to develop from scratch. And then you come up with something that WhatsApp will be better than. You think people will abandon WhatsApp because of that your products? You know how many people that join heads together to come up with WhatsApp, and only you want to build a product from scratch that will beat WhatsApp? I don't know if I'm making sense. So you can build from scratch, but only if there is not an already existing system. I'm just telling you secrets. Here, we build from scratch. That's why if you have something, you first look, are there competitors? Are there people with that particular product in existence? If there is nobody, you build from scratch. True or false? But if there is an already existing system and people are using that system, then you follow trend, then sweat some things. Thank you. My guy, yes. So let's look at define. Think about define. What are we really talking about? Yes. Second stage. I think we'll go on a break.
Yes, so.
Do we get it? Okay, let's okay. You know why? You said what? Okay. The thing is this. You know, the brain, there is a way human brains work. Imagine if there is nothing like break. Do you think many people will be smart? As in, what if, you know, there is a need for you to some tension and stress. Do you get it? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. So, but if I don't, okay, let's agree. Do we? Okay, our class ends 2, right? 1. Okay. Okay. All right, but we can proceed by 12, or should we continue? Continue. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Say okay. Break. Yeah.
Break, yes.
Okay. Eh? All right. You can you can take some time off. Eh?
When are we coming back?
We'll come back maybe 11:45. Yes, 11:45 is okay. 11:45, we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You know, I do something about okay, maybe work. Talk about this. Okay, can you see the Wi-Fi here? Eh? Okay, don't. Okay, 5G. 5G. Yes. Can you see it? No. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. 80 80 51 886 67. You already, where did you see the pass the security key? You used it before. You are connected. Okay. Try and see if you can log, if you can visit Figma page. Or maybe after the class, then hope you all can see it. Okay. Hello.
We can hear you.
Okay. So I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay. Um, we are talking about the defined stage of the product development lifestyle. So, the second stage of the product development life cycle brings together UX designers, UX researchers, program managers, and product leads. They find the product. They bring everybody to define that product. This stage is very important. The goal is to figure out the specifications for the product by answering the question: who is the product for? Now, you bring them together. They need to ask questions among themselves. Who is this product that we are trying to build? Who is the product for? What will the product do? Who is the product for? The considering user. Is it for footballers? Is it for artists? Is it for bodybuilders? Who is this product for? Is it for medical students? Is it for art students? What will the product do? What will it do? Will it send message? What will it do? Because you have to know what a product does. To be able to say, this product we are trying to build, are we going in the right direction? So you've already done the storm and all that. What will this product do? What will WhatsApp do? What will work with WhatsApp? What will this thing do? What are we designing for? We are designing for people that want to connect together. We design it for people who want to make friends with Facebook. We want to design programs to bring friends together. We design WhatsApp. We want to design for people who want to show off. To design Instagram. Then, what will the product do? What will WhatsApp do? What will Instagram do? What will Facebook do? These are the questions that you consider. not about saying we want to build this thing, we want to build that. You should also consider it to do. Because that's very important. And what features need to be included for the product to be successful? What if you say this product is able to do? What features are you going to incorporate to ensure that, oh, this product is able to do this thing? I said that it is able to do. What features should I incorporate to ensure that when people want to connect together, they're able to connect? Should I incorporate voice calls? Should I incorporate message? Should I do this one? Should I do that one? You need to add to ensure that this thing that you want to achieve for successful.
I know that one now. The teacher found out that there's no such thing.
What they want to do, they've already asked these questions. You know who you are designing for. The aim. That's what defines. You are trying to define, let's say, your findings or your product. Now, if you say you are a designer, myself pin down the focus of the idea.
Hello, sir.
Focus on the idea. Now, probably the one define the scope of the project. Define the scope of the project. We aim to achieve this thing. At the end of the process, this product will be able to accomplish and that.
Hello, sir. Can we? Hello, sir. Can we define as an objective of a product or as the purpose or the focus of the product in the market? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? I said, can we define as an objective of that product the purpose we meant the product to do in the market or the focus of that product? I mean, define. Hello, sir.
Sir, your voice is very bad. The sound is very bad. I don't know why, but we can't hear everything you're saying.
Very. It's not even audible.
The audio is odd. Can't hear anything you're saying.
All right.
I think maybe you are too far from your laptop. That could be the cause. Because the sound we are getting here is very poor.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, the sound is poor.
During the five stage, they narrow the focus of their idea. What sort of transform every user process on storage center? What product can do what? Solve every user process. can't say, I want my product to be able to do everything. You don't have a product that does everything. It should be specific. If you say you want to sell bread, you sell bread. You can't say you want to sell bread, you want to sell off, you want to sell abacha. You want to sell music with one product. And you want to connect people again with one product. So not every problem your products can solve. Now keep in mind that single-use products and things that only do one thing, make it more easier to receive feature creep. Feature creep. I should have underlined that. Okay. I said that you should keep in mind that single products, things that do only one thing, make it more easier to receive feature creep than products that do multiple things or have clear definition. They are simple. If you say, I want a product that can be able to use to sell music, I have narrowed down the scope. It will be more easier for me to produce that, come up with a better product than if I say, I want a product, help me connect people, sell music, sell bread, then there will be feature creep. Some features will start creeping in. Oh, I should have used this. I should have used that. You know, I talked about constraints. This is right. It's very important that your design with constraints. And some of you will still face that problem. If you are a reference designer, you don't use constraints. You will find it difficult finding at a particular solution. Because you want to design. Oh, what color should I use here? Yes, yellow is okay. You use yellow. No, I think green. Green, okay. Green. No, I think blue would be better. Blue. You know, we are considering so many things. You can't agree. You think this one is better, you think that one is better, you basically think and take a time to waste time. But if you use constraints, just like if your client comes to you, client wants a product. You know, if you use color, true or false, you don't go about trying to get colors and all that, trying to get the colors that you are going to use. No. You ask the person, do you have logo? On the logo, you get your color. You pick colors from their logo. Because the product match the color used in the product to match their logo. You allocate the sun. Not every color. You can have something that has 20 colors. You can pick 3 or 2. So it will blend in. You see, there is this web online banking system that I just did with Sigma. You know, I just prototype it. If you want to design maybe mobile app for them, you're going to their color from the logo. I want to tell you something. I was telling you something about prototype. Now, I would like us to come up with an app for this online banking system. So, you know, I just want to show you. I don't want to. You know, we have less than 1 hour, but I'm just going to show you something. You know, what I tell you about prototyping, you know, designing and prototyping, you may not really understand what I'm talking about. This is Sigma. So it's because the network is for connection. Sigma doesn't take pencil. Okay, let's continue. So I told you about you know, trying to narrow things down. All right. If there's no logo, types, right? Yeah. Web app. Or this is something done. This is a design, not. Look at this. You see, has over system. Yeah. This is a design. I designed it. Didn't feel. You know, you can click on transfer. It push down. You see, you can over. Yeah. You see, you can click on single transfer. You can go ahead and scroll down. Like doing this without mouse. You can put on transfer. You can select the account where but this is not important. I just use this for illustration. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You can and enter your account number. You click on pay. You proceed to payment and all that. I just want to show you how design works. Yeah. You see how it was working? Someone who does not have an experience will think this is a website. So of course, because everything you do on a website, it does it. This is how we are going to design it and give it to a developer. What the developer does is to do exactly what I do. Because I prototype it very signal. The first is to develop it using code. There's no code involved. If I show you the mobile app, you will see if I mirror it to my phone, I will be using app for navigating. If I give it to you, you will never know it. It's prototype design. You think it's an app. These are the things of that. And when you want to test, you test with something like that. Your product, you get it. Instead of developing it, you test. Now, an analyst can just come and say, oh, this thing is not with the prototype, and see, this thing shouldn't be like this, it should be like that. Instead of you coming up with develop product and then start effective changes, use the prototype and do some corrections before you develop it. Because what you develop works the same way as the prototype. The prototype is just design. Or you are using prototyping to bring it to life. To start behaving as it to life. It's not like. Why I want us to use it, I want us to, because some of you might find it difficult. Prototyping with doing things that you want. How can I make this thing to bounce? Maybe when I click here, this thing will bounce. I don't know how to do it. But if you have enough, I'm going to teach you some of the secrets in prototyping. Then you should be able to, because any kind of design you want to incorporate, you can incorporate it. You scale it anyhow you want to scale it. So I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hello?
Can't hear you.
I
can't hear. It's not audible enough.
Can you hear me?
No,
We
sir,
can't hear
it's
you.
not audible enough. We can't hear you.
It's not audible at all.
Next.
Emmanuel, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this. Okay. All right. Let's proceed. Okay. Okay, we've talked about this. Now, the define is all about using the insights. It's all about using the insights from the brainstorming stage. What you get from the brainstorming stage after thinking, those things you use it in, to define. Now, from the brainstorming stage and starting to narrow the focus, you start to narrow the focus. You said this, you said that, you said this. How are they related? Oh, we shouldn't consider this much. Let's concentrate here. You bring those ideas, you've come up with ideas. Now you can start saying, oh, this one, I think this one is very much important than this. You start narrowing things down. Because if you rank ideas, there are some that you consider more important than others. Every idea is important, but some will be more important. Any idea that deviates from what you were trying to produce will not be factored in. Now, during the define stage, the team determines concrete ways that the product being developed will impact the user. What are the ways through which this product is going to impact the user? What are the things this product is going to help the users do? How well would this product be able to, satisfy the user's need? You are thinking about impact the product would have on the user. Now, as UX designers, we'll begin to think more about specific details related to the product, who the product is for, what the product will do, and what features need to be included for the product to be successful. Now, a statement that outlines the goals or outline any problems we want to answer with the product design are the focus in the define stage. Those statements and goals we want to outline that outline any problem is what we want to consider when we say we are trying to define these products. Now, when we are designing, are we considering users the way we should have considered them? Is this approach that we are trying to take very useful or not? You compare, you contrast, because you are trying to come up with a product that is very, very, very much efficient. You are going to know how this product is going to impact your users. If you incorporate this feature in your design, is it going to make any sense to the user? Is it going to help him or her do what him or her wants to do? These are the things that you are putting into consideration when you are saying you want to define your ideas. Now, let's look at design stage. Now, the design stage is the main part of UX designer. It's the main part UX designers are involved in. They create wireframes. Now we are now designing. We are now designing. This is the part that UX designers are very, very much involved in. Now they create wireframes. I told you about wireframes, sketches of what the product should look like. Now, if you are trying to design, it's very, very important. I told you, start with paper. Create low fidelity wireframe before you start your transfer it to your listing. I told you why it's flexible. You can easily change things You don't like this, you remove it. You don't like that, remove it. Until when you think that this is okay, you transfer to your Figma. You build low fidelity without color. You can do A or B testing. You choose the one you prefer. You know, well, we are still going to do A or B testing. And you know, I told you about US writers. You think that those people are, some of you might think that those people are not important. They are very much important. A or B testing is not very easy. Some of you don't know it. Now, some of you might, okay, you want somebody to use a product, you say download or try. There are things that you consider. That's why it's very important. What to work here? Should I say download? Should I say try? Should I say complete? Should I say submit? You know, all these things that are saying the same thing. Do you get it? But how would the user understand those things? If I tell a user, try, will it make sense to him or her? What if I tell the user, download? Which one will be better? Should I tell the user, buy? Or should I tell the user, purchase? Do you get it? There are some things, you do some tests. Which one is better? You compare. It's very important that you compare two things. You know, there is an adage, there is a proverb that says, Ogoni, no one nabo. I don't know if you know that. You've heard that. If Ogoni, if he marries two wives, he will then tell which one is better. It's important that you have things in two so that you'll be able to appreciate one. I'm not advocating for marrying two wives, actually. I'm saying, what I'm saying is this. It's very important to compare two things. So, we said that okay. In the design stage, US designers, they begin to actively develop ideas, and they also check that all specifications from the design stage are realistic. The first two stages are more about preparation and planning. Preparation and planning. They give us a clear understanding of who the user is. When a product is designed, you'll be able to see who the user is. True or false? True. During all the previous stages, you might not know who the users are actually. But when you see that the product is WhatsApp after design, you'll be able to tell, oh, users are those that want to connect together. Oh, Instagram, the users are those that want to show off. So you should be able to know in design who the user is. The first two stages are more about preparation and planning. Okay, they give us clear on that. Okay. Using the insight from the first two stages, US designers, they generate designs that keep the user top of their mind. That's the aim. Keep the user top of the mind. Okay. We'll create many different assets, including storyboards. Some of you know storyboards. Someone said yes now. Some of you know storyboards. Okay, can you tell us? Just anything.
Storyboard is like a step where you put your ideas, the wireframes, all sorts.
Okay. Give him 8.
Is it the same thing as mood board?
Eh?
Is storyboard the
He
same
said
thing as mood board?
modus board.
Mood boards. Is it the same thing? Mood.
Okay. Yes, almost similar. They are similar somewhat, but not really
Okay.
exact.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
storyboard. Now, look at storyboard is this. You have just like roadmap, your vision. Now you see, you can use illustrations in storyboard. Do you get it? There is one thing then you'll be able to show you. It's just like there is one we used to call it, is it cinema or something? Then they say, Neka, look at Jesus, he's going to Galilee. Look at him, he's doing this. Just giving you stories, how he's going from one stage to the next. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Are they more
It's just
like images? Are they more like images narrating a story?
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. More like story images. Do you get it? So you are how you move from one level to another. Do you get it? Now, at this point, this product should be able to do this. At this point, it should be able to be like this. At this point, it should be able to just create just stories. Do you get it? That's storyboard. Now, which are sketches that help explore the user's experience, or wireframes, which provide. Madam, you came late. Is it data science? Okay. We might create prototypes actually, which are models that allow UX designers to test the functionality of a design. Now I told you, you see, you can create what? Prototypes that would help allow UX designers to test the functionality of a design. Now, the prototype I created, you see the one I showed you, you as a UX designer, you can use it to test if what I'm trying to produce, what I'm trying to bring to the table is actually useful or not. True or false? Yes, you can use to test functionality. This thing is not working fine. You shouldn't go from here to here. You get it? When you click here, you shouldn't do this thing, you should do that thing. Because I've already done the connection, completed the prototyping. So someone can actually see it and be able to assess it, know if it's actually working or not. Almost rounding off. Okay. All of these things will be covered later in the program, actually. So during this stage, UX writers will write the text for buttons, headlines, instructions. Motion designers will design the moving graphics of a product. Now, I told you our motion designers, those graphics, those things that get your attention are things that motion designers do. That's animation. That's visual designers who create a color palette, icons, logos, fonts, sizes, and layouts of each page. Another key role is that of the interaction designer, who makes sure the product is easy to navigate. Navigation is very important. That user flow. I explain user flow. True or false? Yes. So
Hmm.
you consider navigation. Navigation is said force. Who said force? Someone said force. I heard force. Okay. Okay. Meaning that the user flow to achieve a goal is intuitive. User flow, you consider user flow. Is user able to accomplish what he wants to accomplish? Is he lost along the way? You can't build a product that someone would want to use and the person said, "Oh, I don't know how to navigate around here." That's the work of this guy, interaction designer. Now, this design phase usually culminates in a design prototype. That's getting your prototype. Now, UX writers are also involved in the design stage and might do things like write button labels, because I told you these guys are also jack of all trades. They know how to write labels very well. Now, or other copy within the product's wireframes and prototypes. They are good, very good. They have the skills. They can do those things. At this point in the life cycle, UX designers make sure to include all of the product specifications that were outlined in the define stage. They try and include those things they said in the define stage, because the define stage, you narrow everything down. You focus on the main goal. So those things that you say that are needed, you want to include voice call. You want to include message. You want to include this and that. This is where those things will play out. When you are designing, you are considering those things. You might also check to ensure that each part of the design fits together in an intuitive way. You check if those things that you've actually done, if whether they fit together in a way that makes sense, that is seamless. For example, UX designer might check that the screens of an app flow in a way that makes sense to the user. He will try and ensure that the screen of an app, whether it's flowing in a way that makes sense to the user. If I slide this like this, does it do this thing? Is it when I slide this like this, it will jerk off? It should make sense to the user. User should know that if I want to go down, I should do like this. Someone was talking. Huh? Okay. So
Hello, sir. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Can hear you now, sir. We can hear you now, sir.
But we cannot see the screen.
Okay. Okay. Hope you can see the screen now. Okay.
Yes.
So
See the screen now, sir. You can see the screen now.
okay, thank you. Thank you. The UX designer also make sure that UX designers rather make sure that each task the user needs to complete, like navigating from the home page to the checkout confirmation page in an app. Imagine you want to make payment, maybe use a mobile banking app, and they are, the process is not seamless, it's not straightforward. The steps involves maybe 100 steps for you to be able to transfer money. It's not easy. Maybe you want to transfer money, they're asking you, what is your name? What's your gender? What's your date of birth? Before you transfer money, your own money. Do you get it? So the project for the user, the steps through which you get your goal, seamless, very simple. So that's what is considered in design. You consider user flow. So okay, not the last part actually, but why people listen. Some people will not even go to lunch. After test, they iterate. Do you know? Some people after testing. Okay, now let's assume that I gave you that prototype. Without launching. I see, oh, this thing is not where I will to my design board. We'll design again. Or if it's not that has to do with brainstorming, I can even go back to brainstorming. Now, test usually starts with the internal team. The internal team will first do the. Do you understand? All the alpha beta tests, the internal team will do it. Just like let's build an app. Now, can we imagine the kind of app that we want to build? Do we have any need to build? Now, if you come up with ideas, now we'll start brainstorming. Who are our target audience? Who is going to use this app? We consider those things. We are brainstorming. We want solutions. After everything, we are going to do the alpha beta test. Now, the alpha test could be maybe he told us to come up with an app and all that. Now, After doing everything, we want to test our app. We're going to do the alpha test here. We are going to test that app and see if this thing actually does what it says it does. And does it do it very well? Now, when we see that this is okay from perspective. Next week. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So, okay, thank you. Okay. Testing, just like I said, testing starts with the internal team. So that major bugs. You know what bugs are? What are bugs? Thank you very much. Who said that? 10. Thank you. So the major errors and glitches can be immediately fixed. Errors and issues, challenges can be fixed. This is called what? The alpha testing. That's the first test. You check it for errors. Is there any error? Now, then internal stakeholders, including marketing, sales, and legal departments, are asked for their feedback. Now, those people who are big guys up there can be asked for their feedback. Now, lastly, that one is called beta testing. It's performed on actors after the feedbacks are being gotten from the stakeholders. Now we do the beta testing, which is on actual user. Now, I told you that if you want to conduct this test, it's not really advisable. It's good sometimes, but it's very risky. If you are testing your products with real users, You can test the prototypes with users, but you shouldn't test. You know, sometimes you see some of these businesses, they produce better version. They are trying to test. They test with users. That better version is just for tests. You want to know how it works. You want to get users' feedback. Now, beta testing is an entire science in itself with vastly different approaches. Companies such as Apple, companies like Apple, companies like that of this very man now, never review beta testing products to the wider public. Apple will not want to test their products with real users because of problem. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. You know, I told you about if after testing a particular product, you then come up with the refined version, that user might think, oh, this same problem I discovered is also imbued in this. Imagine you go to Mama Nkechi selling Oba. You buy the Oba. You notice that Oba is spoiled. Maybe it was Oba she put yesterday, then she sold it to you. Tomorrow, will you go to the market to buy Oba? No. Even though she cooks a fresh one tomorrow, but you will think. That's how humans think. You think it's maybe leftover Oba that she wants to sell to you. That's why it's not advisable to test your product when it's still undergoing refinements with real users. Apple never did that. Now, why many Google products have been tested in beta for anyone to download? Google do that. They leave their products. People can download and test. They generate people's feedback. They know how people are using their products. But it takes courage to do that. But it's very risky. In the test stage, the team evaluates the product design based on feedback from potential users. At this stage, you want to get people's feedback. Do they use this product very well? Are they frustrated? Are they happy? Are they sad? These are the things that you need to know. You are doing your evaluation. You are testing. Because why you want to actually come up with the launch is because you think that users are already satisfied. True or false? Before you say you want to launch a product, you believe that users are already satisfied. Testing designs with users is really important because it helps the team focus on the user first and foremost, and the design second. Now you know that since there is a way they say everything that has advantage has an equal and opposite disadvantage. We have disadvantage. Testing with real users is also important. Advantage somehow. Do you know why? Okay, this is the advantage now. If I'm trying to, undergo refinements somewhat, I wouldn't know what you need. What I'm doing is this. I look at this. No, this person doesn't find this thing very okay. Do you get it? I refine. I refine. I refine. I look at it again. I refine. I refine. I don't really know what you need. But if I give you this product, You should be able to tell me, I need A and B. I will stop, thinking, and I will just go straight to the point. That's the advantage. But the disadvantage is this: when they use it and it's not also working fine, it's not good, they might think that the refined version is also same as the one that was not working fine. So that's why Apple never did that, but Google did that because they wanted to engage people and know exactly what people need. Okay, we said that person helps identify areas to refine. You know the exact area to refine and improve the designs actually. Now it involves lots of interaction between UX designers and front-end engineers as they figure out ways to create an end product that satisfies users' needs and is practical and functional. A product that will satisfy a user need that is practical and functional. That's all you want to achieve. Because when a particular user uses a product, he or she will be able to say, oh, this product was able to solve my problem very well. Or he or she can say, this product is frustrating. So if you don't produce a product that satisfies that user's need, you'll be losing customers or users. That's why some businesses will just try and know exactly what a user needs. Can you use this? If you can use it, then I go ahead and launch. So these are the things you need to weigh them. They discuss things like how the color or fonts can fit the company's brand, or whether the prototype designs are easily understandable. Is the prototype that you created, is it easy to understand? Because you've not actually started launching yet. You are still testing. Is this prototype difficult? You can give it to few persons. Are they able to use it? Now, if I ask you to go to the one I created, the prototype I did, will you be asking me questions? What does this mean? What does that mean? If you're asking me that question, that means that thing has failed. It should be easy to understand. You should be able to use it without someone telling you blah, blah, blah. It should be easy. User flow should be seamless. Now, when you talk about the company, you consider color. I told you about when you want to come up with design. You want to design for a particular, you ask them for their logo. They give you their logo. From that logo, you pick your colors. Not when WhatsApp will ask you for a product. You start using red, black, green, yellow, blue, all that. You should be able to pick from the logo. It's just green and white. You pick your color. Because that color will reflect that business. Facebook is blue. That's you need to know how to pick your things. So in the tech age, a lot of the market research has actually been shifted to post-launch. Companies have no problem iterating many times. They have no problem iterating many times. You can iterate. Now, let me tell you this thing. This is actually a secret. If you are iterating, do you know why you can be producing better designs than me? Simple truth. I told you one yesterday. One is principles. True or false? True. Yes. Again is iteration. Now, if I create this design and I'm able to look at this again, I'm going to see some mistakes I did. True or false? Oh, this thing shouldn't have been here. I remove it. Later, I look at this thing again. They don't have even space, you know. This one is more closer to this than this one is to this. Because in design, everything has to be uniform. If you are using heading, all your main heading has to be the same size. All your subheadings has to be the same size. That's why you define them before you start working. You want to pick colors, just pick 3 colors, pick 2 colors. You're okay. Don't go beyond that. You are using space. Oh, this is space. I'm using this space from here to here. Oh, I'm using this is actually 15 px. That number of spacing is what you should maintain. Your design should be consistent. What did I say? Consistency is design. Now imagine who has used products, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office rather. You use Microsoft Office, right? Can you use Excel? You can use Excel. You can understand Excel, even though you are not good at calculating. You can understand Excel, true or false? You can understand PowerPoint, true or false? Almost the menu bar, almost the same thing. This thing, that's consistency. Your design should be consistent. Not when you design something like WhatsApp, you design another one like to go. Your design should be consistent. Microsoft will come up with Office, come up with this one. You see the consistency, just the same way. So if you have used Office, you can also use PowerPoint. Just like my younger sister, she used Office. The first time she was doing things with PowerPoint. I was like, how were you able to do it? Is it not the same thing? Yeah, go insert, you pick 2, you do this thing. The same thing. You don't need to go to secondary school or go to night class to be able to learn that. Your design should be consistent. Not you do one thing, later you do another thing. Now, okay, I told you that companies have no problem iterating many times. You look at your destiny, you compare, you contrast. I told you about producing 2 things. It's better you have them 2. You compare. Is this type of green better than this type of green? You compare the 2. This one is not good, you remove it. You compare, you contrast. Should I use this word? Should I use that word? Just use the 2, bring the 2. Don't just say this one is better than this side. Bring the 2 out. Then look at them, compare them. Get other people to look at them. Don't say that your opinion is better. That's what other people, just which one is better? Vote. Majority carries the vote. Now, testing phase and even I said that companies have no problem iterating many times between design, testing phase, and even between the launch and brainstorm phase. Like I told you, you can be at the testing stage and then iterate to brainstorm stage again. That's why I told you it's not a linear process. Did I say that? Yes, it's not a linear process. You can go back at any time because you want to come up with the best product ever. You compare, you contrast, you take out things that don't work, and you bring things that actually work. Or if you want to test your designs earlier, another option is to test a functioning prototype of the product. That's the best way to test you, just like I told you, using a design tool like Figma or Adobe XD. We will be learning how to use Figma to create prototypes in the course of this training. Okay, here is the summary stage. The summary of the test stage, actually. Now, at the test stage, the design goes through at least 3 phases of testing. One is internal tests. I told you, internal tests within the company. Yeah? Then you get reviews with stakeholders. After we've tested, then we give to stakeholders. Then they test. And then external with potential users. Running this test is typically the responsibility of the US researcher on your team, if you have one. US researcher is the one that runs this test very well. First, the team tests the product internally. That's the one we call alpha test. They test the product internally to look for technical glitches and usability problem. Now, you can get the product. You notice that it's not very usable. Even after thinking that you've come up, that's why I told you, design involves refinements. You can come up with products. The product looks good. But when you look at it again, you start noticing problems, errors. If you've been a programmer here, you agree with me. Sometimes, after writing your code, you think it's going to run. You want to run it. It's not running. What's the problem? There is a bug somewhere. There's a bug somewhere. You think it's fine, everything is fine, but it's not running. So you need to know if that's actually usable. This thing I'm about to give this person, is it usable? Do I think it's easy for that person to be able to use it? That's things that you consider. So then the product undergoes a test with stakeholders. That's the second phase. To make sure that the product is aligned with the company's vision. Do you get it? Do you get what I'm saying? The stakeholders, because their interest is what? With the company, true or false? True. They just want the company to grow or survive. So they check the product to see, is this product beneficial to our business? If it's not beneficial, you are going to go back because you need to balance things. You are trying to balance things. Now, to see if the product is aligned with the company's vision, if they meet the legal guidelines for the accessibility, if everybody can actually use it, including physically challenged people, and follows government regulations for privacy, for instance. And finally, external tests with potential users. This is the time to figure out whether the product provides a good user experience whether the experience this product provides is actually useful. Meaning to check if it's usable, if it's equitable, if it's enjoyable and useful. That's the one that we call beta testing. You check with the user to see if this product is usable, if users enjoy it, if it's seamless, if it satisfies the user. All these things are very easy, very, very easy if you consider them. Because you yourself, you are a user. If we do tests, we conduct tests. Now that's why some people use they say you guess you use maybe use inference. You get maybe what is called in statistics, they call sample size, isn't it? Eh? True or false? It's called sample size. Then you get a sample size. Use sample size to make inference. You can use it to draw conclusion. Many people, you want to ask a question? Eh? Hello, you want to ask a question? Yeah, okay. All right. Our time is almost up. Well, let's rush. Let's just conclude. Eh? Let's conclude. What are you saying? You say we should postpone it? Eh? You said what? Okay. All right. The last stage of the product development life cycle is launch or sharing of a finished version of the product with the public. You launch, that's you share the finished version, the developed version with the public, that's with the users. Now, this might involve listing an app in the Google Play Store. You put it in Google Play Store so that people can download, or the Apple Store. Now, making a website go live. You host the website on HostGator. You host it on Google Host. You know, make it go live. Now, during the launch phase, a team should also reflect on its product design life cycle and how to improve it for the future. You reflect on the product design life cycle and how to improve it for the future. You look at the product. Is this product, how can we be able to make it better? How can we be able to build next version? You reflect, you look at that product very well. So you've actually launched it. You can launch it and see problem you did not see before. You know, users' experiences, they change over time. True or false? True. User experience can actually change. That means you need to build another version. That's you iterate again. So the launch stage is a time to celebrate your work actually and start promoting the product. You can go to websites, you start announcing that there is a new product around and all that. So the launch stage can be very satisfying for us and our team because we have the chance to understand how our designs will be received in the real world. However, the work on a product isn't quite finished after launch. We may still identify opportunities to improve on the designs or learn even more about the user experience based on feedback. When we get feedback, we can be able to use those feedback to improve on user experience. This could involve going back to the design or testing stages and figuring out ways to produce a more enhanced version of the product. We can go to users' feedback. Maybe after a finished product, The user might say, hi, I wish this thing does this thing, or I wish maybe I can actually get videos if I search on WhatsApp. You get their feedbacks. Maybe most of them want videos. Maybe not, maybe short videos. Do you get it? Maybe they are, before WhatsApp did not have that feature that you can post videos before. True or false? Yes. It's because of people's feedback. People wanted videos. We don't just want pictures and all that. We need videos. Then they incorporated that feature. It's feedback. So even though they've actually launched that product, they then go back and iterate. Because if they don't do it, Telegram will do it. And Telegram will take over. So that's why I told you they do those innovative designs to grow or survive. In this case, it is to grow. Now, this could involve, okay, we've done this. Marketing professionals on your team might post about the new products on social media or publish a press release about the products. The customer support team might get ready to help new users learn how the product works. The support team, do you get it? They can start training people on how to use the product. Especially if it doesn't conform 100% with the user's mental model. I told you that thing before, that you need to incorporate training. Just like you have, so when we are doing about good UX and bad UX, I said something like that. Do you get it? You train users when you are trying to bring something they are not very much familiar with. You train them before you launch it. Because if you launch it before you start training, that means you are going to lose a lot of people. Because what will happen when a user uses your product, he's not doing what he wants. He's not going to say that he doesn't know how to use it. He's going to say that it's not working. True or false? True. He will say it's not working. And you, if you don't know how to balance, you get angry. You'll be like, are you stupid? Don't you know you do this and do that? It's not his fault. You should make it seamless. If it doesn't conform with his mental model, you incorporate training. You train him. Because I told you, if you give me plates, if you give me, let me say, you give me something that looks like plates, you give it to me, I'm going to put food inside. Eventually, you see me eating with it, and you are like, oh, this is a mirror. You're not supposed to eat with this. I will be like, mirror. I'll look at it. Look at it, it's mirror. You do this, you do that, you see your, oh, it's actually a mirror. I did not know. I thought it was a plate. If you did not tell me it was a mirror, how would I know? You gave me a mirror that looks like a plate, and you expect me not to use it for food. Because I have a mental model of what a mirror should look like. And I have a mental model of what a plate should look like. I told you that a button should look like a button, didn't I? Yes. If it's in morning high, they say sangleo is sangleo. Is it? So something is what it is. What is a button? A form should look like a form. That's why you see form. You drop shadow, it will be like a form. Not you see a button is completely flat. When you see a button, you should know that when you see a button, you should be able to click. True or false? Yes, you should look clickable. If your button is not looking clickable, that means you are not a very good designer. If you see this without going to school, you should know that you should be able to click. Not when you see a button, it's looking like a rectangle. Program customers, okay. Program managers also meet with the cross-functional team to reflect on the entire product development lifecycle and ask questions. They look at the whole steps that you've taken towards developing that product, and they ask questions like, were goals achieved? Did we achieve our goals? Before we started this brainstorming and all this idea and all this, do you know one thing? You know, goals can actually change. Or should I say, the goal can actually change from the initial idea. And maybe you've not encountered that before, but there are things that you do. You notice that you'll be like, how did I get here? You'll be asking yourself, how did I get here? You are trying to do one thing, and before you know it, you're already doing another thing. You went to buy something in the market. What actually took you to the market? You want to buy pepper, ose. You are buying okra. You are noticing that maybe you agreed that you are going to spend maybe 500 naira, 1,000, 10,000. Maybe you have your ATM card. You went to the market. You start noticing, oh, I bought every other thing. I did not buy what actually brought me to the market. It happens. So that's why you can still ask questions. The functional team still ask questions. Were goals achieved? The reason why we started all these things, did we achieve that? Because before someone will say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Or maybe start, start doing some stores. He already knows what he wants to get. Someone doing business knows what he wants to achieve. He wants to make money. Is this business yielding the result? Am I just investing my money for nothing? You have a goal before you started. Am I able to achieve? Have I been able to achieve all these things that made me to go into this in the first place? That's the question. We are timelines met. We say we are going to do this. Now, by so day, this thing should have been like this or like that. Did it work that way, the way we planned it? There are questions that you ask. Now, making time for this reflection is super important. It's very important. Because not when you came with the idea of designing WhatsApp, then you start noticing that what you're actually designing is Instagram and no longer WhatsApp. Your perspective, or should I say your goals, has changed from what it used to be to what it is. then you've actually deviated. So it can help improve the process going forward. So if after asking those questions, you reflect, you consider those things, it will help you to improve on the product. Is there any question? Madam, you are just joining. Any question? Okay, what are the steps? What are the basic steps in product development life cycle? One after. Clap for yourselves. 20. Okay, what does brainstorm stage involve? What are the things involved in brainstorm stage? Thank you. What's your name? Position number 10. Eh? Thank you. Thank you. 10. What's your name? Kosi. 10. Who else? Thank you. Position number 10. Okay, what about define stage? What's your name? Shibo, so 10. You say what you want the product to be able to do. You define your scope. Thank you. What's that your name? Uzioma 10. And it's answered the question, who is the product for? Thank you. This guy is smart. I read it. 10. Give him 10. Okay. What about design stage? Thank you. Uzioma. Uzioma, right? Uzioma 10. Okay. What about testing? Testing stage. Thank you. Thank you. What's that your name? Chibike 10. Huh? Okay. Thank you. 10. Okay. You've actually made some valid points. Okay. Who can define products development life cycle? Who can tell us what products development life cycle is? All right.
Product development life cycle, the steps and processes that starts from the idea stage to the time when the finished product is now.
Ozioma 20. Any other definition?
To the development of the
Thank you. Osisioma. This lady is smart. Osisioma 20. Who else? Thank you. Give him 20. Chibike, right? You guys are smart. I like you, honestly. Very smart. Okay, our time is actually up, and I would like to say thank you for listening. You're welcome.
I was wondering if it would be possible to get a soft copy.